Hey, it's me, Bria, and I'm a lifestyle coach. I help moms reclaim their time and energy. Look at you, taking this moment to recharge. I see you. During the Doulas Bloom podcast, I share tools and resources with my clients and community to spend time with themselves. The key to you living as your authentic self is embracing change and having courage. Your relationship with yourself is the only true constant in life, and observing yourself throughout each season will allow you to always be in alignment with the desires of your heart. Are you interested in joining my one-on-one coaching program? You can book a sales call with me by visiting the link in the description to schedule your session today. Before we get started, I have to remind you of your influence because you are an inspiration. Hey everybody, and happy International Women's Month. I am so excited for this series. I have been hard at work all of February recording with amazing women to bring you their stories. I created the Girl Chat series not only to share the stories of amazing women, but to also create time capsules of our growth. I think it's so important for us to go back and witness ourselves. And through this series, I have created a little time capsule, not only for me, but also for the women who joined me in these chats. We get to go back and witness ourselves in these moments. And I teach my clients and my community to do this on a monthly and weekly level. And so I'm so excited to expand and grow this series as time goes on. It's going to be so interesting to have guests come back on to the series. But I'm getting ahead of myself. If this is your first time here, my name is Bria. I am a lifestyle coach. I host the Doulas Bloom podcast. I am the creator of the Doulas Bloom community, and I am the leader of the village. So I'm so excited to bring you this March 2022 cohort of Girl Chats. I have committed to doing this every year, as last year in 2021, I did a series, an IGTV series of Girl Chats, which will also be shared during this month, that has inspired me to continue to share stories and to have conversations with women about their stories and their lives and what's brought them to this point. So for the rest of March 2022, you will be getting stories from 20 plus women about their stories, about where they are right now and what has brought them to this point. And I am so excited to do this again. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's shared so openly in this series. And I am so excited to hop right into this conversation. Clearly, you clicked on this one because something in the title or the description, or you know the person who's going to be on this chat. I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I am so looking forward to our conversation about where you are a year from now, 2 years from now. I'm just excited to have you back for another Girl Chat. But I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to stop rambling and hop right into this conversation because it is so beautiful, and I don't take any of this for granted, and that's why I really had to come in here hot before we even got into the conversation just to share that. And yeah, I'm gushing right now, but thank you so much for listening, you as the viewer who's experiencing this conversation, this Girl Chat, and thank you to everybody who's been on the Girl Chat in its entirety. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna let the Girl Chat go. But if you're interested in being part of a Girl Chat with us here on the Doulas Bloom podcast, let me know. You can go to the description. There's a link down there for you to join the wait list. There's a wait list, y'all. There's a wait list for the Girl Chats because so many people wanted to be a part of this, and I'm just excited because we're gonna have more Girl Chats here in the future. So if you want to be a part of the next cohort, you need to join the wait list. Okay, have these conversations, share your story, share your insights and your gems with the community, and let us know what's going on. I don't want us to hide and think that we don't, like, our stories aren't enough. Like, oh my gosh, I've learned so much from the women in my life, and that's why this series means so much to me. But again, I want to create space for you to enjoy this conversation. And again, thank you so much to everybody who's listening, who's being a part of this series. I am happy that you're here. Again, if you want to be a part of this series, you can join the waitlist. The link is down below. You can go to doulasbloom.com/podcast guest to join the waitlist. So without further ado, it's time for a Girl Chat. It's time for a girl chat.
Enjoy.
Hey, it's time for a girl chat. It's time for a girl chat. For a girl chat.
Hey.
Sabria is out here really rocking for us. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Do the Spoon podcast. It's me, it's Bria, and today we are doing something a little different. We got a girl chat going on, and we have Sabria here in the room, in the Zoom room with us today. And before we jump into it, I want to give Sabria an opportunity to introduce herself because we about to be catching up like two BFFs never caught up before. Like it's been a minute since we've seen each other. So I'm gonna pause, let everybody get to know you a little bit, and then we'll hop right in.
Okay.
Hey Sabria,
Definitely.
how are you?
Hey girl, hey, how you been?
I'm good.
Awesome, that's good. First of all, sorry y'all, my heat just kicked in. But my name is Sabria. I'm 24, residing in Fort Worth, Texas. And I'm super excited for Bria's podcast. So yeah, I can't wait for this girl chat. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. To give the people a little bit of context before we start our catching up, let's tell them how we met, how we know each other, and then I would love it if we could just share a little bit of first impressions. So yeah, how did we meet? How do we know each other?
Oh, okay. So we met at college at Johnson Wales. I specifically remember you because we had a class together. I can't remember if it was a finance class or something. I just specifically remember you being in the class and you sat in the front and I was like, "Ooh, who that girl with them curly hair?" Like you were popping, like curls were popping. That's what initially attracted me to that curl, baby. Okay. And then I never said anything to you in the class, but then I remember meeting you again through a mutual friend, Jewel. And then I was like, oh my God, I just love her. And I remember you being in class and I was like, man, this girl is just smart. Just don't answer them questions, girl. I'm gonna just sit here and gone. She doing it. But yeah. But that was my first impression of you. I was like, I like her. She's cute.
Oh, thanks.
I know.
I think, were you a part of CAT?
No, I worked in admissions.
Okay, so yes, so that's how I met you. I don't know if it was the first time I saw you was at one of the Wildcat weekends before it got turned into something else, but I remember seeing you with the admission teams all the time, and I was like, okay, yes. Jewel, and then with Jewel, and then obviously I just started seeing you around campus and I was like, she cool, she cute, she made good pastries, she's a baker.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's how we just met through people. But obviously I remember when the food photography club was doing the thing,
yes.
That we really started to hang out and stuff. And so that's when I was like, okay, I think she likes me.
I know, I love you. And then it wasn't a lot of us at our campus. So I was like,
us, we mean the brown skin girls.
Okay, for real. And I was like, I just like her. And every time I see you, I'll be like, oh, there go Bria.
Oh,
you're just so cute. I was like, I love you. And then you cut your hair off. Girl.
I did. I
remember that big chop.
That was my second big. That was a buzz cut. Let's call it what it was. Buzzed my hair off.
You walked in. I said, she cut off all that hair.
I did.
But I was like, she rocking it though.
I did. I loved it. Look at it. It's all back.
I know.
That's crazy.
It's back.
I have contemplated cutting it off again, but I told myself that was a one and done type thing. We're just gonna we're gonna let the length grow. Look at this. Can you see this?
Oh, look at you. Okay.
Shrinkage is
time
real.
For days. It is.
But no, I absolutely love you, and I love because I remember as things were happening on campus and stuff, and the school was doing what the school was doing. I remember you talking about being a travel agent, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this a possibility for me? And so yeah, just talking to you, I feel you always had an entrepreneurial touch to because you was like, I'm gonna take this trip, we going and we're gonna find a way. And I was like, how do I get some of that energy on my life?
Yes, girl, absolutely. I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. I also own a cake business too. So girl, it's I think it's just in my blood. So it was natural for me to just have my own business. I don't like listening to people. I don't like people telling me what to do. I like to tell people what to do.
You and me both.
So I was like, nah, I need to work for myself. I can't.
Are you still working for yourself, like full time?
Yes, full time. Graduated February 2020 and been full throttle.
Oh my gosh,
And look back.
I want to be on that. I want to be
Yes.
on that side of the team. I work at a daycare center right now.
Ooh, nice.
I guess I cook lunch for the little babies there. But I don't love it. Like, obviously I started my business and like things are going, but I don't want to
Yes.
put too much pressure on my business. And so it's just like, I also want to just give you a huge shout out because like when I first started my business, before I even knew that I wanted to like do like life coaching and started my podcast and all that stuff, I actually went down, okay, do I want to be like a travel agent? And so like I started like going through this program with these people, and they were like, oh yeah, we're basically going to show you how to set up your own business, blah blah blah. And I was like, if I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it, not just
Correct.
dabbling in it. And so I was like,
Correct.
do it. So like you were because I remember when I finally got home, I was unpacking my stuff. I had your like your car, your business card.
Oh yes.
So I was like, is this for me?
Yes, absolutely. It is for some people, and some people are like, nah, I don't want to put the energy. I just want you to book the travel for me. So
Yeah.
we like them people too.
Yeah. So you still do both. You do both?
Yes.
Okay, now y'all, everybody, if you're looking for taking your next trip, shout out to
Yes.
Sabria. Shout
Yes.
out to her.
Yes,
Let her
yes,
know she's here for you.
We
And
travel vacations, baby.
yes.
That's me.
And also, I know that you have your cake business, and I just kind of, I don't do this with everybody because like only you bake cakes. But like, what's your favorite cake that you bake?
Oh, I get
If
asked
you
that
pick
a
one,
lot.
or like, okay, if not your favorite, what's your favorite flavor? If flavor is even the right word.
Flavor, okay. Really for me, I'm that kind of person. It depends on my mood, but my all-time favorite is chocolate souffle. That's like my all-time favorite. With that creme.
That's chocolatey.
Yes, it is. It is. But then if I'm feeling like adventurous, I like banana pudding cake. That's one of my popular ones. But yeah.
I like a carrot cake or a lemon poppy seed. Those are like my two favorite.
Okay.
There's this vegan restaurant downtown. Oh My Soul. Shout out to Oh My Soul, y'all. Go try that carrot cake. Go try that carrot cake. I don't like the icing, but it's like a little bundt cake. So they just put it in the middle. I just pop that out and just eat the cake. It's so good.
Yeah, carrot cake. You can't never go wrong with a good carrot cake, though.
Exactly.
But don't put no raisins in no carrot cake. Nobody want that.
I agree. It's better without it. I will say that it is better without it.
Yes.
But like, as we're chatting, as we're catching up, I would love for you to like share like one of your biggest obstacles that you had to overcome, or even just sharing like everything that's brought you up to, or maybe not everything, but like the highlights of like what's brought you to this point where you are right now.
Okay. Whew. All right. So like for me, like my biggest challenge, to give y'all some context, I started my business when I was 12. So I've been in love with the baking pastry industry since a young age. And so as I got older, I was like, okay, I want to go to culinary school and went to JWU. And the first obstacle was I had a realization. It was like, your first time away from home, and it's your first final, and it was like a major final. And we also had a practical. Girl, I did not do well on the practical. I mean, I still passed, but I didn't do as well as I would have thought I would have done. And so I didn't really get the response that I had wanted from the chef. Like I wanted a little bit more consoling, but that wasn't going to happen. And so that was the first time when I was like, oh, is this really what I want to do? And then I was contemplating. And then I was like, well, I also like psychology. I was like, maybe I can go switch to psych. And then I was like, no, my heart always gravitates right back to baking. And then, so that was the first one. And then now here recently, I am working on myself in the sense of I'm trying to find that balance between work and personal life. Yeah. I'm also find myself down the rabbit hole of comparing myself to other bakers that have been doing it longer, or some that haven't been doing it as long as I have been doing it. And sometimes I like even talk to my mom, because she's like my biggest support system.
Yeah.
And I was telling her, I was like, man, like, what am I not doing? Like, what is it that I'm not doing?
Yeah.
But then I have to like remind myself that look how far you've come.
Mm.
Some stuff that I was doing at 12 years old wasn't as trendy, but now it's trending now. Not saying that I started the trend whatsoever, by all means, I'm not saying that. But it's just crazy to see how things always come back full circle. So that's like my biggest obstacle. And I'm working on finding out who Sabria is outside of business, outside of college, outside of being a friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I completely understand. I completely understand.
Yes.
Like, did you graduate before or after or during the pandemic?
I literally graduated February of 2020. And then
everything went down. Okay. Because post-pandemic, I know you don't know my experience, like how that went down. So let me just share just the whole thing of just like being on campus. And then like, I really didn't want to move back home. I was like, let me stay in Denver. Lord, please. I was said, if it's in the cards for me, please let me stay. And so it wasn't in the cards for me. I had to move back home, and just like the whole process of being like, okay, well, is the campus going to be open? Like, I'm supposed to be an orientation leader. Like, I'm ready to get back on campus and get back to my life.
Yes, absolutely. Outside of your mama and your daddy.
Come on. And so I was like, okay, I'll be back at campus in the fall. Like, okay, cool. And so obviously that was not the case. And specifically, it wasn't the case for the Denver campus, because no more Denver campus.
How you just gonna do that? How you gonna do us like that?
Exactly. And so like, I worked on campus. I kind of saw it coming and faculty turnover and things of that nature. But I was like, okay, if this school ever closes, your girl is dropping out. And so that's what I did. Bria has dropped out and has been doing podcasting, running her business, living off her savings for the last basically year and a half. It's only been recently, maybe 6-7 months ago, I actually got another like job and got back into the workforce of it all. And so it's just like, I really want to go back to being like full-time and just like doing that. But obviously it's like, I got to take care of myself. I got bills to pay. So just the whole thing of how like my life has kind of escalated so quickly is like what adulthood is supposed to be like. And then like also in the process of taking care of myself, because like when I did get back home, being back in the physical environment of like all of my hardships when I was a teenager and like high school experience, it was just like, what is going on? Send help now. Send help. And so I struggled a lot just to like even be able to create space for myself, because like I'm one of 5. So all of my mom's children were in the household. Her husband, my brother's wife at the time, well, they're still married, but at the time they were living with us. And I think there was another person in the house at one point. So like 9 people in a tiny little home. And like, we're all kind of on top of each other. And it's like, how I couldn't like really see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so it was just like, what is happening? What is my life going to be like? Is this it? And so like, obviously there's no kids crying in the background, so I'm not at home with my family. But just like the whole process of like 2020 and 2021, and just like having to like shift so quickly and not really having the time to be like, well, I'll just see what happens. Like you have to like make a decision really quickly. I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna like do this and I want to like start a business, because like I don't remember what the week was called. I think it was like homecoming weekend. We did the like Shark Tank or whatever. Like I won first place for that. During that competition. You had a question?
No, I was gonna say I think I was there for that.
yeah, and I pitched like this really cool app that I wanted to do, and it was
Yes.
super cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I won. And so like the energy of that and being like, well, like obviously these people liked it and they wanted to buy it and they wanted to invest. Why not just like start your business? And so like that's kind of all the things that led to like where I was going. I have no idea what point I was trying to make with all of
Hmm.
this, but like I just felt the need to share with you, just like this is what's been happening since the last
Yeah,
time I saw you.
I know. Cause I thought you, I don't know. I thought I saw something and it said you were in North Carolina. I don't know. But how did it feel when you decided to drop out, like not want to continue school anymore? How did you feel about it?
Well, okay.
Because I had a moment like that too, but I was like, I gotta keep going.
Well, here's the thing. I had always joked with my friends. I was like, if this thing ever happens, I'm going to drop out. And so
Mhm.
when they sent us that email talking about Denver campus no more, you can transfer to another campus, I was like,
Mhm.
they don't offer the major that I want at the Charlotte campus. I'm not moving to Rhode Island. Like it was just too much consecutively for me. Like my nervous system, like I was just my anxiety, I couldn't take it. And it's like obvious, it's like there was no sense of security during this period either. It was like, am I just gonna move to have to come back home anyway? So it was just like I'm just not gonna continue.
Yeah. No, I totally understand.
And so yeah, it wasn't a hard decision to make. It was a little bit hard to accept that I was staying home. That was the hard part for me. That like even now, like I'm like, Bria, you still in Charlotte, you still in North Carolina. This is the place you never wanted to be, and you're still here. Obviously, I can move, but it's like moving takes time. Takes money, and like you got to be strategic about like your moves. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't even, it was just a lot. It was a lot. And like,
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be on the other side of it and to kind of like to tie it back to like some of the things that you shared and like your experience is like, I had to like believe that I could keep going and trust that like I've made these tough decisions before. Cause like, I don't even know if you knew this, like, but before I joined or not joined, but like enrolled as a student, I was in the military. And
Hmm.
so like my whole military experience, I was just like, okay, now that I got this injury, what am I going to do now? And so like I'm used to pivoting and making transitions, but with a little bit more time. And it's just like, Bria, you literally get to say that you were in the military and you moved across the country by yourself. Those are things that you did. And so,
Yes, absolutely. Come on, girl.
and I moved across the country both ways by myself, like
Yeah.
to Denver and back. And so just reminding myself of how much power that I had during that like time and reminding myself that it's still here, it's still within me. And so just to carry me forward because I be stressed, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never gonna lie to y'all, but I'm doing the best that I can with the information and the knowledge and the energy and the time that I have right now. And I'm proud of myself nonetheless.
Yes, I'm proud of you, girl. I was all up and on your website
Oh,
and on the YouTube channel. I was peeping. I said, let me see what Bria been up to. Yes, I'm very proud of you. You were like killing it. I was like, oh, I need to reach out to Bria. I gotta get some things in order. But yes, I'm so proud of you. Like to see where you started, like specifically in that Shark Tank thing competition.
yeah.
I remember sitting there and I was like, man, that's a really good idea. And I was like, that's just so cute. And then to see you bringing it to life now
Yeah.
and where you're taking it, I'm like, man, I cannot wait to see
Yeah.
like 10 years from now, 5 years from now, like it's so exciting. Like I fell down a rabbit hole. I was like binge watching. Hmm. I was.
Y'all, I don't know how to respond to this. I'm just like,
I saw Liddy on the video too. Shout out to
I
Liddy.
love
I know.
me and Lydia are like this.
Yes,
That's my
yes,
girl. Oh
yes.
gosh, I love me some Liddy.
Fire, ain't she?
Yes, I'm just like, wow. Like I'm just not used to like people telling me about because like obviously people are I don't want to say they're watching me, but I'm giving them something to experience by like sharing
Right.
my story and sharing things. And so thank you. Thank you for sharing that with me
Yes,
because I
absolutely.
just sometimes I don't see it. Sometimes I don't see
Correct. You need the accolades, like
yeah,
that
I
helps
just
going.
I need the reminder. I
Yes.
do. And it's just like,
Right, girl. I'm getting emotional. I know. It happens. But
thank you.
you're doing great. You really are. Like, I see you and you're consistent. That's what matters. You stay consistent and it'll take you wherever you need to go. Just keep doing it. Mhm.
Consistent is not one of the words I would describe myself as.
I, I feel that. I'm the same.
So
But
just,
only we know that. We
yeah.
know that. Ooh, I know I could do it. Because we put that pressure on our own self. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, oh, I got to do this, this, and this, but I got to do X, Y, and Z before I can get to that. And so you feel like you're slacking, but you're not. You're not. You right on time, always.
Y'all hear that, y'all? We right on time.
You're right on time. Because let me tell you, I saw your message and I had literally like 2 days before you reached out to be on your podcast. I was like, man, like I need to start finding myself. Like, find who I truly am, you know?
Yeah.
And you were like, and so I was like, okay, let's find out what do I like to do. And I have been watching like a bunch of different people's podcasts and things like that. But I was like, man, it's not a lot of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's mostly they could be grown women. And I'm not saying that, I can't relate to a grown woman, but there's some stuff I don't relate to you about. Just like men and how they want to talk about and bash women and so forth. But there's nothing like what you're doing. You know what I mean? And so, sorry, that's my dog. He wants to come in.
No, it's okay. Your dog is welcome. All I'm hearing is that song in my head. God sent me an angel.
Yes.
I'm like,
yes.
wow, Sabria, you are speaking.
Yeah.
My angels are speaking through you right now. And I'm just like, oh, this
girl,
is
I was like, yeah. I'm gonna let him in because otherwise he's gonna get one. So give me 1 second.
Oh, y'all, Sabria is really gassing me. I don't know how to act. All I can say is thank you. Just thank you. Thank you, girl. I am hard on myself, y'all. I really am. There's so many things I want to give to y'all. There's so many things I want to share, and it just takes time. It's a process. It's a process, okay? Yeah, these are the things that I talk about with myself. But yeah, we'll wait patiently.
Sorry, girl. Okay.
No, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Per usual. This is what I do when I podcast alone. I guess like I have a question for you about like how are you spending time with yourself? Like what have you tried? What's working? What's not working? Like if you want to share.
Yeah, so I just really started to find myself recently. Like when I tell you recently, I mean like I really decided to commit to finding who I am. No lie, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And so it's new. It's very fresh. Like, and actually what triggered it for me was being on some dating apps,
Let's speak about that.
Yes. And what did it was because I specifically remember, you know how like they ask questions for like prompts and stuff?
Yeah.
And it was, I can't remember what question it was, but I was like, man, I don't even know the answer to that. Like, I don't know. And then I went to the next one and I was like, okay, yeah, I probably like do whatever, filled it out. And it went to like, maybe there was probably like a good 5 questions on there. And I was like, do I really know the answer to that? And I was like, ooh, do I know myself? And then that's what triggered me to realize, okay, it's not my time to be dating right now. It's my time to be getting my money and finding out who I am.
Yeah.
Like I found myself when I would be in relationships and stuff, I'm the kind of person I like to go with the flow.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Okay, yeah. Like I don't mind making plans, but if it's just spur of the moment, let's go do it. And so, like, let's say when my significant other at the time would ask, "Oh, what do you want to do there?" I don't care. As long as I'm with you, I'm fine doing whatever. So he could like go on ice skating, and we go ice skating, and now I'm like, "Oh, I like that." And then I'm thinking to myself, "But do I really like that?"
Yeah.
Or do I like it because it's something that I'm doing with you? You know what I mean? And so, yeah, so that's what triggered me to really be like, mm-mm, nope, focus on you. So I have been doing that and really like listening. Some other things that are working is I've been like meditating and like
Yeah.
stretching and stuff and just really trying to work on me. So like I've been eating better. I've like been going outside, just chilling, relaxing. Like there's times where I just want to sit in my room in the quiet. I want to sit in the house and
Mm,
do nothing. Like I
yeah.
enjoy the nothingness, you know?
Yeah. It's that restitution. That's what it is.
Yeah, like every day is my hustle and bustle. Every day I'm getting up and I'm grinding to fulfill orders, reach out to clients and things of that nature. And I'm like, man, like it drains you. It really drains you being
Yeah.
to be a business owner, being an entrepreneur. It's draining. And so I'm like, all right, I need rest. So I've been off for a little bit after the holidays and now I'm just like, all right, time to pour into me. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what I've been, but that's working for me.
Yeah. Just taking
Going
it
to the
slow.
movies. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, taking it slow. Like yesterday, okay, so if y'all don't know, I said I'm in Texas. Right now we're in a snowstorm. It's not as bad as what it could get in like Denver or wherever. But I was like, ooh, I want to try something new. So like I'm in Kroger and like I've had sushi maybe like twice. And I was like, I don't really know if I like sushi. So I picked up like some different kinds and I was like, I'm gonna try those. And
Mm.
I like sushi.
Yay.
Like it's like those things. Like I buy my own self flowers.
I just bought some flowers for my sister and I. We live together and we
Mhm.
were singing that song. We are like, Valentine's is coming. Where's
Yes.
your boyfriend? And we was like, we
Yes.
have each other. We have it.
Yes.
And so like we bought flowers and it's so nice. We have some around the house, but
Love
it,
it.
yeah, I just love that you shared that because like I always think about like what do I like to do when I'm alone? Like
Hmm.
what do I like to do when nobody's watching? Like if I had a day to spend with myself, like what would I do?
Hmm.
And for me, like the day would start with a nice warm cup of Earl Grey tea with a splash of oat milk. I'd be reading
Hey,
my
oatmeal.
book, still in bed, just, taking it real slow. And maybe before the sun is at its peak, I go out for a little kayak, little
Oh,
moment on the lake. Like I
yes.
dream is to build my tiny home next to a lake so I can go kayaking whenever I want, just on the lake. And then, maybe after kayak, I can go for a picnic and like watch a movie in the park, take some paint,
Yes.
like some of those types of things. And those are like some of all the things that I like to do. And that's
Hmm.
how I define if you like something or not. Like if you were doing it alone, would you voluntarily go and do these things?
Are you asking me? Would I do that?
No. Well, tell me, would you?
Okay.
Probably.
See, because Bria, you're like adventurous. Like I'm adventurous, but my adventurous got a limit.
You think
So
I'm
I don't
adventurous?
really like outside like that. You could take me for a good hike in the morning. That's about it. Yeah.
I do like hiking, but again, that's not what you like, and that's okay.
Correct.
Everybody
Correct.
has their own thing, and that's why it's important for you to enjoy doing those things by yourself because you don't have to have someone to do those things with you.
Correct.
I
And you
love
find
solo
your own joy.
traveling. Hmm.
Do you?
I do. I love it. I actually got to support a retreat last year in May. I'm actually supporting the same retreat again, and just the
Mhm.
process of like flying and being at the airport, like I love that experience and going through that alone. Nobody's bothering you. There's always some weirdos who's trying to ask you questions in the airport, but I'm just like 6 feet, please, or keep your
Okay.
distance. But it's just so nice to like listen to music and just read a book and just like really like have nowhere to go, nowhere to be. When the plane is ready to board, we board. When it's ready to take off, we take off. I just love that whole experience. And so I'm excited to be able to do that again in May. But
Yes, absolutely. Where you going?
I'm going back to Sedona to support the same retreat.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to just be in Arizona.
Yes, I love Arizona. I see that's where I'm gonna take a page out your book because I've always wanted to solo travel,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm the kind, one, I always keep my head on a swivel, and two, I don't want to say I'm like paranoid, But I think it's more has to do with the fact of other people putting the fear onto me. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah. No, yeah, yeah. Secondhand fear. It's a real thing.
Yes, yes. So like I'll be like, "Ooh, could I really travel by myself?"
Mm,
And I'm like, I don't know if that's something I want to do because I mean, and I would try it once, maybe twice, but
yeah,
I'd have to go in the States somewhere.
yeah.
I can't do no outside the US.
I want to do outside the country, but I know that I have to build myself up for that. Like I remember
Yeah.
my first time being on like a solo trip was like one of those like trips that you go to like before what like you're visiting the college that you might attend. That was like one
Oh
of my
yes.
first things. And then I've been on like church camp things. And so like I've been places without a mother.
Hmm.
But there was still like authority and structure to it. But
Correct.
I think the first time that I ever like flew alone was for like the Wildcat weekend that I was talking about. And then like obviously my boot camp experience, I was just me. But I was traveling with other people. I do like traveling with people, but there's something really empowering about being like, I can take care of myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And then the
like,
fact that you can wake up and do what you want to do and got to be like, well, I don't get up until 10 o'clock. And no, the day starts at 7.
oh,
You know what I mean? I
your
mean,
day starts at 7. No, I'm just
no,
talking in response to whoever's trying to tell me how to live my life.
correct. It's like you can really do what you want to do. If you want to sleep in, you can do that when you're traveling. You don't
Yeah.
always have to have like a group of people and other people's opinions.
Yeah. And then I always like to just like take a little piece of like the solo traveling experience, even
Hmm.
like into like the little mundane things that I do in my life every day. So I try to go to the grocery store by myself every now and again, even though I get super anxious and like an anxiety provoking experiences at the grocery store. I still try to put myself in those environments, a healthy container of like just learning to be like, okay, Bria, if anything feels wrong, you can leave at any moment, and like giving
Right.
myself permission to do that. But just being like, you can do this, like, and just like kind of to prove to myself that I'm safe alone.
Yes.
And yeah, just taking it one little step at a time. It doesn't have to be like, okay, you're going to Dubai, just you. No, thank you. I'm not ready
Yeah.
for that.
I feel you. I ain't ready for that
But I'm
either.
just trying to take a day trip, to a state over, and that'll be like,
Correct.
oh wow, now we're seeing what it's like to just kind of
Do it.
dabble in a solo little day trip. But yeah, I love everything about this conversation and where it's going, but I would really love for you to share a little bit about like what you're working towards, or like what you are envisioning the next chapter of your life will look like, because like we're all about creating a little mini time capsule here on my podcast for all the guests, so you can come back in like 2 years, 6 months from now, and just like witness yourself and be like, oh my gosh, look how cute I was. So yeah, what do you think is in your future?
First off, I know myself wholeheartedly and completely. That's number
Preach.
one. Number two, my business is continuing to thrive and surpassing all my goals.
Yes.
My business is always I'm making do what it do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Happy. Like I'm happy, but I want to be like die hard happy. You know what I mean?
Was Die Hard happy?
Like I just like every day I wake up and I'm thankful that I wake up.
Yeah.
But I have everything that I've wanted, and now I'm able to share with others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And really feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy in what I'm doing and I'm fulfilled, but I'm like, when I reach that point to where now I can give back to others how I really want to give back, then that's when I'll truly be at my happiest point.
Yeah.
But yeah, a new car,
Oh,
material things. Come on now.
no, I'm manifesting a car too, because I got
Yes,
my license during the pandemic, and now I'm just like, where is the car so I can take the day trip that I was just talking about?
correct.
Because I don't like traveling with people, y'all. I really don't, because they be trying to be like, you're on my time, and I'd be like, take me home, because I don't want to
Correct.
be here. If this is
Won't
how
be
you're
here
gonna do it,
anymore.
not if you're gonna be running the ship like this.
Absolutely.
But no,
My
a
other
car.
goal,
Yeah, share your goals.
my other goal is to be back on your podcast. I'm loving it. Really getting more back into videos and that side of thing. Like I enjoy making content. Like I stay on TikTok.
Mm.
I live there. You can't never get me off of TikTok. But yeah, that's like my goals for my business wise. And
Yeah.
then maybe get to that point where I can do some solo traveling.
Yeah. And
I'll get
I'm all for you coming back on the podcast. I
there.
am
Yes.
going to do Girl Chat. I'm doing this monthly series every year. So
Okay.
every month in March, International Women's Month, I'll be gathering all like my girl chats and like sharing them. So like a year from now, 2 years from now, whenever works best for you, come back on. We can talk about like the things that we talked about in the first one, be like, did we reach that beautiful place of
I
fulfillment and
know.
happiness?
Absolutely.
And if not, like what did you learn in the process of like trying to achieve that? Because that's what this is all about, just taking it one step at a time and learning as you go. Because as an entrepreneur to an entrepreneur, I'm sure you just got to try things, and sometimes it don't work and you just be like, okay, I learned my lesson, let's try this
Absolutely.
and see
Girl.
what happens. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. And I can't wait to see you next year, 2 years from now,
Yes.
whatever works best for you. So yeah, to all the listeners out there, a big thank you for listening to today's episode. And also, I want to give you some time to reflect. So the next 3 minutes are for you. If you're new to the podcast, I gave you reflection prompts to reflect on what we talked about during the episode. So that will be on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on the podcast, go to the show notes and you will see the reflection prompts. The next 3 minutes are for you. And I will see you tomorrow. And we will see Sabria next year or the year after, whenever she lets me know.
Absolutely.
But yes, we love you. And Sabria, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you next time.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.
Hey everybody, I really hope you enjoyed today's girl chat. I loved having these conversations and I'm sure you're going to enjoy tomorrow's episode as well. But before you go ahead and click to the next girl chat, I want you to share your thoughts on this one. So you can go to the comments and share your key takeaways, what gem resonated with you, and just let us know your thoughts. And so, yeah, we want to keep the conversation going. We want to keep the girl chat going, even though it's over. But you can start the conversation down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. And if you are listening on the podcast, I want you to go ahead and take a screenshot of this episode and tag us at DoulasBloom on Instagram and let us know your thoughts. Same thing, keep the conversation going, share it with a friend, let us know your key insights, your key takeaways, and yeah, I want to know your thoughts. How did you feel today's girl chat went? What resonated with you? So yes, that is what I want. And then I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow for the next girl chat, and I'm so excited about this series. So excited about it. So but I will see you tomorrow for the next girl chat, and yeah, I love y'all. Bye.